anybody else that I'm just friends with and interact with, is to live a better overall life. As we just settle down in the room, just because we'll wait till everybody kind of takes their seats, let me just talk about David Tian, Ph.D. I actually first heard about David, from the academic world. I had friends who are, just tremendously intelligent guys. But then I heard about him in the dating world here, and there, and he was on the other side of the world in Singapore, and it just kind of grew and grew and grew. And after a while, you start to get these clients who are just like, no, man, no, this guy. And I'm like, is he a professor or something like that? Anyway, it turns out that he went from professor to being this like amazing dating coach. He has a radio show. He's kind of like the source of so much going on in all of Asia when it comes to dating and seduction and lifestyle. And what I see from this guy is living a good, clean life, a solid message. I really respect him for that. I've talked to him on the phone and interacted with him. We've just shared different friendships and stuff like that. It's great to finally meet him and shake his hand just a couple hours ago. Let's bring him onto the stage. Welcome, David Tian.
Thank you.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Take it away, man.
Thank you.
Let me actually just move this a little bit.
It is an honor to be here. Really, flew in from Singapore and really pumped up to be speaking in front of you. I remember back in the day when the 21 convention was just starting up and seeing the videos on YouTube and thinking, wow, this is such an amazing opportunity. And the fact that Anthony was putting up these videos for free back then was without any charge. There's no like $9.99 for the first week, and 2 months later you can cancel it. All that stuff, it was just free. And now I'm really honored to be part of that lineup and to contribute to that. So great to meet Steve and Anthony. I want to thank them both for the invitation, and great to see them finally in person. Now, being out in Singapore, I'm sort of isolated from all my mentors. So a lot of my training and coaching was over Skype. I flew in about once every year or so back to North America to do my to check in with my professors for my research, as well as to hook up with my mentors, and that was it. I get my once a year thing. So a lot of what I did was just based on a few Skype calls here and there, a bunch of emails, but really a lot of it out of my own experience. And what I'm giving you today is a talk called Honesty as a Cornerstone of Attraction. And I found that for myself, when I discovered the power of honesty and being genuine, it really took my social life to the next level. And I hope to show you how that came about. What I'm going to show you today is also inspired by my own study. My Ph.D. was in Asian cultures at University of Michigan, and I was in Beijing for 4 years before I moved to Singapore. All of that was in research in East Asian religion, East Asian philosophy. And what I'm showing you today actually resonates very closely with over thousands of years of East Asian philosophy, religion, including Confucianism, Neo-Confucianism, Taoism, Buddhism. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but I think it's pretty cool that a lot of what I'm covering today has been thought and taught by very wise men throughout the ages, as well as in the Christian tradition through spiritual cultivation and specifically in the Jesuit tradition. So a lot of this is not PUA. I mean, my background was pickup, I guess. That's where I came out of it in 2005 after being separated from my wife at that time and then getting a divorce and having to just pick up the pieces as a 30-year-old Asian dude in a town of 100,000 people, mainly white, where all the hot girls were 20-year-old sorority girls who didn't go to clubs because they weren't of age, and you had to break into the frat. And the frat houses were worse than clubs because in a club you could just flash your black Amex or pay some money, buy a table. But in a frat, they don't really care how much money you have. So it was really like working from the ground up. And so what I'm teaching you today is a lot of it is going to be based on what inspired me through over 15 years of university study, and then going on to be a professor at the National University of Singapore teaching Asian philosophy. So although it's coming out of this pickup world, most of this is really not having anything to do with PUA, and it's been 3 or 4 years since I've been in that community. So it's refreshing today, actually, on this panel, to be sandwiched between two fitness talks. It makes me feel, like very decreepified as a result of that. So as I'm showing you, there's honesty. And there are two parts. Right? We're going to look at the inner and the outer. Right? Very simple, inner and outer. We're going to start with the inner. The inner part of using honesty is basically, I'm going to use the example of overcoming limiting beliefs. Your limiting belief could take any form. It could be you're too short, you're too tall, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too black, you're too white. Whatever it is that you are, you can just change that into a limiting belief. It's amazing how many limiting beliefs there are out there. So let's take a limiting belief. All right. So you're going to use honesty to overcome limiting beliefs. And there are many ways, actually, to overcome limiting beliefs. You could use NLP and hypnosis, and I've used those to good effect in the past. But that takes specialized training and specialized skills and knowledge that maybe you don't have. So what I'm going to show you today, the method of basically psychological archaeology, is something that you can use without any specialized skill or training. And probably you've already been using it to a limited extent. You just need to do more of it. So take a limiting belief. You start off by asking, is it true or false? So on the handout, I have it just written out in linear form, just horizontally. On this whiteboard here, I'm going to use it, I'm going to show it like a tree. Like if you like truth trees or decision trees, it'll be from top down. I don't really need this. So. Okay, true or false? Let's take a belief, I don't know, let's say I'm too old to get girls I like. Right, let's take old age, right? All right, you feel that one? Okay, so let's say you're, I don't know, I hear this from my clients who are in their 40s and they like girls who are in their 20s. So they're thinking, oh, I'm 20 years older than that girl. It's a limiting, this is going to limit my opportunities in dating. What can I do? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to reflect. Reflect, okay? And along with reflection is research. Reflect, research. Okay, so that's the first. So you notice under inner, I had R&R. R&R, which is when you have a limiting belief at the Aura Dating Academy, we say you need some R&R. It's just reflecting and reframing. So the first is reflecting. First, with reflecting, you ask yourself, is it true that women will not like a man who is older? And then you just do some research. Go on Google, go look through the psychology journals, the science journals, go ask some experts. And it turns out that the research shows that women actually prefer men who are older. A minimum of 2 years, but up to 5 years in many cases. And that as women age, they actually prefer men who are even older. So a woman in her 30s will prefer a man in his 40s. And a woman in her 40s will date a man in his 60s. That's because as you age, your life experiences tend to be less different, versus 18 and 21. So you do the research and you find out, hey, actually being older is an advantage in dating. All right, so then you say, well, then it must be false that women don't like me because I'm old. So that limiting belief is false. But if it's a deep-seated limiting belief, just learning that first surface level of it won't destroy the limiting belief. You're like, yeah, okay, I know rationally that I shouldn't feel this way, but I still do, right? And then you need to condition your mind. Condition. You do mental, emotional conditioning. So this idea of research, then conditioning, is going to be repeated on the rest of the truth tree. I'll just show you very briefly how you can do conditioning on old age. So let's say you're an older guy, you want to date, you're in your 40s, you want to date a girl in her 20s. One easy way of conditioning it is looking at images or seeing videos or meeting people in real life, guys who are older dating younger women. And the world is replete with these. Take an example, Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones, she's 20 years his junior, right? You could just, instead of having Justin Bieber photos like you probably do all over your wall, you want to take those down and replace them with representations of the ideal you, of the life that you want to lead, of the reality that you want to have as your own, right? So we have these ideas, these limiting beliefs that come to us through various means. They could be through the media. They could be through society, through our parents or our peers. What you need to do is cut out all of the negative sources that are giving you these limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering sources that support the belief.